What's going on, guys? My name is Antrod and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to beatbox. This is a video series that will consist of teaching you how to beatbox. In the very first episode, there's not going to be much stuff that's actually going to be happening as far as teaching you how to beatbox. As we progress throughout this video series, going week by week by week, every week I'll teach you another noise, but for right now, I'm only going to be able to teach you about like 3 or 4 because they are the basics. I don't know personally how to do the more high-end stuff because I can't fully explain how I do it because I don't know what my mouth is doing to make those noises. But as we progress in this video series, we'll go from the basics to higher end, so on and so forth, as I understand more on what I'm doing to make certain noises. But for right now, I'm going to teach you quite a few of them, but more like the basic, easier type of stuff. And you just experiment from there because kind of that's how I started with beatboxing. In this first episode, I'm going to give like a small, brief introduction on beatboxing. And in the next episode, which will be coming out next week, I will teach you how to start your first noise. So a bit of history and a little bit of introduction to beatboxing. Beatboxing began around the 1980s. The original term of beatbox was actually a drum machine. Between like 1959 and 1964, there was a drum machine. It was this big, huge music box. And that's kind of where the term beatbox came from. Beatboxing literally means human drum machine. Now, the way I've always understood beatboxing for me, this is how I've always have taught myself, and when I do end up teaching people like out there in public, because I have taught a couple of people, and they have kind of picked up things as they go along after teaching these things, I have kind of taught people basically by telling them about the alphabet. As you're watching this video, you're probably thinking, is it even possible for me to beatbox? I don't think I can. I don't have the mouth to do it. Let me stop you right there. If you're talking, you can beatbox. When you're talking, this is how I've always understood it. As you're talking, your talking is simply a hum that you manipulate to make a different noise. When we're talking, we're manipulating our voice to create a sound. And we, as people who speak English, recognize that sound as a word. That's why when it comes to Spanish, Japanese, so on and so forth, we don't know what they're saying because we don't know what that sound means. As an example, rojo, which is a word in Spanish, to us who speak English, just simply sound like a noise. But in Spanish, rojo actually means red. Just an example, like a small, simple example. So if you're able to make the noises to produce a word, you can produce the noises that are beatboxing. Even as a baby, when a baby needs to learn to talk, the doctors actually tell you to talk to the baby because the baby hears that noise and tries to recreate it. My brother, when he was a baby, kept talking to him saying, Mama, Dad, brother, Anthony, which is my name. He figured out slowly but surely how to say those words. At first, he couldn't say Anthony, the best he was able to do was Deddle. At first, he called me Deddle. Eventually, he went up to Anthony. Eventually, he's able to go Anthony. When it comes to beatboxing, I'm going to go through certain letters in the alphabet and show you how you can manipulate those noises from the letters and make them into musical sound. I'm going to teach you the basics step by step, video by video, by introducing each individual noise from a certain basic drum kit, and then we're going to do it together in one final conclusion. As you get into the more expert levels of areas, I actually bring in another beatboxer friend of mine, Indy, to delve deeper into how certain things work in your throat and your mouth to be able to create the different noises that I can't fully explain, but I can do. So hopefully, as you progress throughout this video series, you will go from not knowing anything at all to these are just some examples that we're going to go with. And I am going to give you stuff to do in between the weeks, so don't think it's going to be like, what's this video? And then we're going to go to the next video and you're not going to know when nothing's going to happen. As we progress throughout these videos, you will be practicing in between each video. So when you get to the next week, you will be practiced and you'll have a better understanding of what you're doing with that noise so that we can move on to the next one. So next week, we are going to look into lesson 1 of my beatboxing tutorial series, and we are going to basically start with a drum kit. Yeah, that mess. And I'm going to start breaking it down and teaching you everything so you can go from nothing to doing that. So tune in next week where we start going through the alphabet and I start teaching you the different noises that you can do from just the alphabet alone. This is my beatboxing tutorial, and this is chapter 1, the basics. See you next week.